Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you are ready for a new week of guided reading, and I hope that you enjoyed last week. This week we are going to be looking at another book. But first, let's remind ourselves again of our reading strategies. The first one that we like to use a lot is our eagle eye. That is when we look at a word and we take the first letter from the word and find pictures in our book to help us. Our next one that we like to use is our stretchy snake. That is when we look at letters in the word, we stretch the sounds out nice and slowly, and we go back and we say the sounds all together. For example, ship, sh-I-P. Let's have a go at some stretchy snakes of our own. So first I'll have a turn, then you'll have a turn, and then we'll say it all together. Something, ing. Something. You have a go for me? Good job. Well done. Let's try it all together one more time. Something. Ing. Good job. Now the book that we are going to be looking at today is part of our Dolphin Rescue and Other Stories. The story is actually called The Hairy Scary Monster. Let's go and have a read. Boys and girls, this is what your book looks like on Oxford Owl. Let's have a read. So this is the book that we are reading this week. It is called The Hairy Scary Monster. Who is the hairy scary monster? Kipper didn't want to go to sleep. Biff and Chip are at Gran's, he said. I don't like being on my own. Poor Kipper, thought Floppy. I'll stay with him. Oh no, Floppy, said Mum. Kipper is going to sleep. But Kipper wasn't going to sleep. He was wide awake. I can't go to sleep, he grumbled. I just can't. Kipper laughed. I know. I'll play a trick, he said. I'll trick Dad and get him to come upstairs. He jumped up and down on his bed. Dad, he yelled, there's a hairy, scary monster. It's coming to get me. Dad, help! Dad ran up to Kipper's bedroom. Floppy barked and ran after him. What monster? Said Dad. Where? Where is it? Kipper pointed to the curtains. It's behind the curtains, he said. It's got sharp yellow teeth and glowing red eyes. Dad looked behind the curtains, but he didn't see a monster. There's no monster here, he said. Look. It was a trick, laughed Kipper. It was just a trick. Dad laughed and tucked Kipper up. Be a good boy and go to sleep, he said, and no more tricks. Floppy was hiding. He didn't like monsters. Come out, Floppy, said Dad. Kipper is going to sleep. But Kipper wasn't going to sleep. He was still wide awake. I don't like being on my own, he grumbled. It's boring. Kipper laughed. I know. I'll play another trick, he said. I'll trick Mum and get her to come upstairs. Mum! Yelled Kipper. There's a hairy, scary monster. It's going to eat me up. Mum! Help! Mum ran up to Kipper's bedroom. Floppy barked and ran after her. What monster? Said Mum. Where is it? Kipper pointed to the wardrobe. It's in the wardrobe, he said. It's got long, sharp claws and hairy jaws. Mum looked in the wardrobe, but she didn't see a monster. There's no monster here, she said. Look. It was just a trick, laughed Kipper. It was just a trick. Mum tucked Kipper up again. Be a good boy and go to sleep, she said, and no more tricks. Kipper began to fall asleep. His eyes were just closing when he heard something under the bed. It was something that was snuffling. It was something that was snorting. It was something that was hairy and very, very scary. "Help!" yelled Kipper. "There really is a monster, Mum! Dad, help me! I'm scared!" Mum and Dad ran upstairs. "What's wrong, Kipper?" they said. "There's a monster," he sobbed. "There's a monster under the bed." Dad looked under the bed. "There is a monster," he said. "It's a hairy, scary, floppy monster."